Brave new comedy.
Well, welcome to the Brave New Comedy Podcast. I'm Donald Rees.
Santi Espinoza.
And today we have a special guest with us.
It's Orlando Lopez.
He broke into my house. I'm kidding. We're not recording this in my house. Brave New Studios overlooking downtown Montreal.
That's right.
It's a beautiful view.
Brave New Production Studios. This is where the magic happens. This is where the nudity happens.
It does happen, guys.
Yeah.
Are we being naked with Santi?
No.
We haven't told him yet.
It's our nude podcast. That is how most people podcast, isn't it?
How would you know that we're not actually naked?
That's right.
We could be.
We are naked, listeners.
Brave new comedy.
The topic of the moment: hanging out with straight people when you're gay and hanging out with gay people when you're straight. I'll start, and I'll just say that what I love about hanging out with like Santi and other straight men is I don't have to dress up at all. I kind of feel when I hang out with gay men that it's a little bit competitive and you have to look nice. You can't just show up in your...
That's incredibly demanding.
It is. You just can't show up in your jogging pants and tomato stained t-shirt and your Crocs. Like, you're not allowed because Dave will just snap a Z and walk away. Like, it's really intense. And if I try to eat a carb, Orlando like throws it out of my hand and goes, "No, girl, no carbs for you." Whereas
right.
like with you and Near and other, straight people that I've met, I can just relax and be comfortable.
Yeah, it's true because when you're straight, you don't really care anymore. Like it's like you've given up on life, kind of thing.
That's very depressing.
No. Here's the thing: when you're hanging out with your boys, and it's not really. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter if you smell.
Right.
It's you're not trying to impress anyone.
I agree, and that's very comfortable.
And you do make an effort, with girls sometimes, but when you get to a point where girls are just not into it anymore, then you don't care. You just...
But see, for me, the moment a gay person walks in the room, my back arches. I have to have better posture. All of a sudden, I kind of go from and I'm like, ooh.
So it's got to be expensive though, because you have to buy clothes.
Yeah, or you have to be creative. Only be in dimly lit areas.
I think I see what you mean with hanging out with straight guys. They definitely don't put that much weight into how you look. You're just you look like a guy, it's fine. But if you hang out with straight girls, they expect you to look a certain way. I think there is a way of thinking that gay men already know everything about fashion and they're judging everyone like it's Joan
Do you
Rivers.
really have to know about fashion when you're gay?
I think girls really think gay guys are like girls, so they don't see us as a threat and they can open up.
Yeah, I gotta say I've tried the gay card with girls. I pretend to be gay for a day. And just to be friends
just
with them.
for a night?
Yeah, and for a night, and then just take advantage of them when they're really drunk. No, I'm kidding. That never happened.
Oh my gosh.
Sex.
You're not hanging out with my straight girlfriends.
But, no, it's definitely, girls like to have, their dreams to have, the gay best friend.
Brave new comedy.
I'm not a good listener. I don't listen.
I have no idea what you've been talking about for this whole and I've been quiet ever since.
It's peanuts,
Yeah, that's what I hear. Inversely, though, for you, since acting, you've done a lot more acting now, you've hung around more gay people. What is that like to you? How does that feel different?
I like it.
Expand upon that.
Well, first
How
of
do
all...
you like it?
First, that's the crazy part. I have, I should be gay, because
But
I'm
he's not.
I'm not.
Let me just tell you all.
Well, because I am attracted to, boobs and stuff,
I know. Yeah.
And that's a big thing, And I wish I was gay, because I would get laid more often.
That's what they say.
I've got a lot of gay guys who, they get laid, every time they go out.
They might just be trying to convince you. You wish you were gay, you'd get laid every time you went out. And I think that maybe they're trying to seduce you.
You have to remember that gay men are men. So they're gonna want to brag about things.
That's
how many
true.
people
I never saw it like that.
You have to really see. That's the thing.
And tell me, when you brag, do you exaggerate a little bit, a lot,
all the time?
300%, exactly. So the gay guys are doing it to you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I always, felt bad because for a straight guy, you go out and you never get I've never gotten laid.
You're a virgin? That sounds very odd. You mean when you go out?
When I go out, yeah. I never go to a club
Right.
and go home with a girl. That's not something that happens. Maybe after a show that's likely, right?
Yeah.
But not after you go out with your friends because girls have this very defensive.
Sure.
like attitude, right? So they're not really willing to like go with a stranger home.
Right.
Like, that's just weird, right?
I agree.
Gay guys are less afraid of that.
I often equate like the lights going up at the club at 2 a.m, like the same thing as like musical chairs when the sound goes off. Like it's quick, grab a chair and go.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Brave new comedy.
It's really all about quality versus quantity.
Oh, good. I like that.
Yeah. Well, Orlando and I disagree, but
You have a boyfriend.
and I love him. My thing here is going to be just now. That's a wonderful segue into something that we need to give Orlando an education on, which is Tinder.
Yeah.
So Grindr, for those of you who don't know, is an app for gay men. To meet other gay men around them to create friendships and long-lasting relationships.
That is awesome.
Only. And so they've tried to do that for straight people, and it's had a hard time because I think perhaps women are a little less direct about what they're looking for. They don't, why would I care about the proximity of the man I'm looking at?
That premise was true.
Yeah.
Until Tinder.
Yeah. So now tell us
appeared.
about Tinder.
So, for those of you who don't know Tinder, it's like this awesome app. It's an application that like you create a profile. It's got your picture, your age, your name, and your Facebook friends. So you have a profile. You have your preferences. Girls from like 19 to 29.
I hope you want illegal people.
Yeah, you want people who are above
14
18. No,
Makes
never. Although girls look like 14-year-old girls
know.
are looking more like 19-year-olds, which is
know.
you got to be careful.
You have to be careful. You ID them.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Before you have sex with them, you have to.
I need to see some form of photo ID.
Yeah,
man.
and they always show you this like shaky ID with like the picture of their
Yeah.
mom. So Tinder,
back to Tinder,
yeah. And then you go and you browse, and there's like a distance thing. So it browses for girls who have Tinder
Yeah.
on their phone,
Yeah.
who are close or nearby the area you're in. So you like them or don't like them based on like their pictures.
Yeah.
And if you like them and they like you back, then you have a match. And then you start texting on Tinder.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because then you can meet up with them at the bar.
Right,
And
where
it's-
you are now conveniently both close by.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's awesome. And the big events like the Grand Prix weekend, like
Yeah.
your Tinder explodes. Like
With just blonde models.
it's crazy. I expanded my Tinder this weekend. It was pretty sweet.
That sounds dirty. Expanded my Tinder.
New comedy.
There's a few studies that were released recently about how much women really really want sex just as men do, but they don't want to be seen as slutty. They have a double standard. They can be seen as slutty. They
because
can be as easy.
Right.
It's funny how like time has like passed, and like we were still thinking that like if a girl sleeps with like 10 guys, she's a whore.
Yeah.
But if a guy sleeps with 10 girls, he's like
You get a medal.
Yeah.
You go to the next level of the loyalty
And
program.
I don't agree with that.
You get a toaster.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
I think probably the reality is that you should just do what feels right and natural. It shouldn't be about you're trying to get the gold star or that you're trying to be an angel. You should do what you feel
Yeah.
safely.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So,
that's one of the topics I talk with my girlfriends a lot, is that they tell me about their escapades and stuff like that. And
Their escapades?
the escapades, yes. They're skating. No, they're not skating. I mean, I think girls want to meet up and have hookups just like the guys do.
Yeah.
However, they have to do it in such a way that they're not seen as slutty.
I was talking about Tinder on stage like a couple of weeks ago, and a guy from the audience came and he's like, "Oh yeah, Tinder. That's some kind of Jewish thing."
Like J-date?
And I'm like, "No, it's not. I'm not like. What is it? Like this?
A Spinoza steam.
Yeah, like that's not. I'm not Jewish, and I'm on Tinder. He's like, "Oh, I thought it was like some like Jewish hookup thing." I'm like, "No, that's J-date, my
Yeah,
friend."
there's clearly a difference. They're J Tinder. That'll
Yeah.
Tinder.
Even
That sounds like a
Tinder.
Bollywood.
Yeah.
Bollywood.
New comedy.
There are two types of lesbians. There's the straight lesbians,
Yeah.
and there's the porno lesbians.
Yes, and they're not the same thing.
I mean, butch and lipstick.
But even then, there's porn lesbian. So there's
Yeah,
really
there's-
three categories because porn lesbians are not like any lesbian I've met.
No, they're like dream lesbians.
It's the Grand Prix women
Yeah.
pretending.
Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
For money.
So yeah, whatever rocks your boat. I mean, there's something out there for everybody.
New comedy.
We are going to talk about straight and gay marriage. Why? because Standing on Ceremony, the gay marriage plays, is happening right now.
It's amazing.
Yes. And so because of that, let's talk about it. I don't know what to talk about with it.
I'm directing a piece from play Standing Ceremony, and I actually have a pretty awesome scene because Donald was thinking of me, and he gave me a scene with like two lesbians. Who are portrayed in my play by Claudia Laprise and Tanya Van Cole.
Both sexy women.
They're hot and
they're both sexy
and
straight,
very straight,
not
like,
lesbians. Sorry, they're both sexy straight women.
Yeah, and
both sexy straight women.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, but they're both very straight
and
very talented.
Yes.
It's about getting married, right?
Yep.
And
the fears that you have.
so they're like super like in love with each other. They love each other. They want to get married, but one of them is getting cold feet at some point. And I don't want to tell you the story because you got to go to the show. You got to come to the show.
Pay for it.
You pay for the show. But getting married is so complicated because that kind of means that you are with this person for the rest of your life.
But I don't think people actually understand that that's what marriage is supposed to be.
No.
That it's not just a union, but it's a union for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you should really only make that commitment if you believe that it's going to be for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
not just let's put a paper to this relationship. I think that's how people actually treat marriage these days, which is like, oh, we love each other, now we're just going to put a name on that, as opposed to now make the, because otherwise divorce wouldn't be as popular as it is.
Yeah. and I'm a big fan of like if you really love each other and you want to spend the rest of your life together, don't get married, just live together.
Right.
You know?
And I certainly know tons of people who do that. I mean, I've been together with Patrick now for going on 8 years. And
that's amazing.
We have no reason to
And I find it when you don't have a contract that says you have to, be with this person, like you have to sleep with this person. Because there's like clauses that say...
How many times you have to do it a week?
Yeah, like...
Well, you could put that in there, yeah.
Yeah, like if I get married with like a very hot girl, like I would put something like, you have to have sex with me like...
It's good.
Twice a day.
Because I've heard that stops. They'll be like, I roped him in and I put him in the net and now my vagina is closed.
No, fuck that. If we have kids, we're still having sex. I don't care.
Good. You tell them. You put that in there.
I mean, we come so far, and yet we still have a long way to go.
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
But I think like in 50 years, people are going to look back and they're going to think about the way we think of like racism going back now. Is we're going to be like, really? We said that anybody here is more important than somebody else?
Happened like recently.
Exactly. We don't think of it that way. It's crazy to us. And I think to the next generation, they're going to look back and they're going to go, wait, we told people at one point that this person's better than that person? That's crazy. Everybody has the same chance at happiness.
It's insane. Yeah.
And I think that people will look back at it that way.
I hope so.
Brave new comedy.
I think we just need to now take the focus off of the gay people and focus on the real problems that Hispanics bring to the community.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I say that was a racist. That was a racist remark.
That's right. We just took away 2 jobs from
we're sitting here, but he recently went to Colombia.
Yeah.
And he's got some Colombian Coke on his table.
Cocoa,
sorry.
it's
he says Coco and he laughs really awkwardly. So we don't know what that is, but he loves Hispanic people.
I obviously am surrounded by them. Of course we do.
Brave new comedy.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's Brave New Comedy. You can visit our website at bravenewcomedy.com. Follow us on Twitter at
BN Comedy.
Yes.
You can find us at facebook.com/bravenewcom.
Brave new comedy.